right. Thank you guys for joining us today. My name is Jessica Reynolds. I'm the director of the Office of Downtown Development, and thank you for joining us for Third Thursday. With me on the team, I've got Elizabeth Elliott, our Downtown Development Historic Preservation Planner, Tara Bradshaw, our Economic Development Specialist, and Tess Harper, our Communications Coordinator. We are so excited for y'all to be here with us today. And I do apologize. I know that I'm usually better about sending out notices much further in advance than the day before. And I will apologize. We've got annual assessments going on this week, last week, next week. So things have been a little bit crazy internally. And then I'm getting married this weekend. So I will not be Jessica Reynolds anymore. I will be Jessica Worthington. So again, sorry. Thank you. So I apologize if I didn't get to promoting this as early as I should have this week. I promise to be better about it in the future. So yeah, and one of the things that I teased out for y'all, because I was like, let's see, what can I do to make people show up today, was that I wanted to be able to share with you guys our newest member who will be joining our team starting March 1st. As you guys are aware, Carmine, he was with our office for many, many, many years and left to pursue his passion of really just focusing on design full-time all the time. And he left us at the end of this past fiscal year, so July 1-ish. And it's taken us that long to government, y'all, you know, this does not move fast or quickly. And so it's taken us this long to go through the process of repurposing this position, seeing what it could be used for, how it could serve our communities in a different way. Thank y'all for all the congratulations. Y'all are so sweet. Thank you so much. And see what we could do. So we advertised the position and we had a huge candidate pool. We interviewed, we did multiple rounds of interviews. Started with 10 candidates that we did first round interviews, narrowed it down, and then did second round interviews. And I'm excited to announce that Ellen Hill from Valdosta will be joining our team as of March 1st, woohoo, as our Main Street Compliance and Training Coordinator. Yay! So we're just so excited to have her part of the team. Ellen, the team knows your background and how long you've been doing this and your experience and connection with Main Street and your passion and heart for service and mentoring. But will you just, like, for people who may not know you as well, kind of give us a little bit of your background?
Yeah, so I have been doing downtown development since 2007. So right at 15 years. It's all been with the city of Valdosta. I started out as our program coordinator and worked my way up to the director. So I've kind of seen it all. I've seen a comprehensive view of the job. And, you know, I just love it. It's my heart. You know, I've worked every day for 15 years for the downtown of Valdosta, but, you know, most recently I've been on the GDA board of directors and was the, president for about a month because I'm gonna have to step down from that. But it was really exciting to be in that role as well and be part of the Georgia Downtown Association Board of Directors and just kind of help on a state level as well. We've got some exciting things coming out of that, and I'm just really proud of what that group has done. And I'm just super excited to join the DCA team. I do have a heart for mentoring. Brandy will tell you that. She was my latest one, and she's amazing. She's a rock star down here in South Georgia. So, yeah, I'm just really excited to kind of hop on board and get to work. And everyone that I don't know, which I know a lot of you, but all of you that I don't know, getting to know you all very well, and just working together to make the state even better. So I'm super excited, grateful for the opportunity.
Yeah, we are so excited. Again, Ellen comes to us with so much experience and has served to a mentor to not just Brandy, but to a lot of us over the years, it was hard for us because we were so excited to have her as GDA president. And if y'all have served on GDA and worked with GDA over the past couple of years, you know that Ellen has been hugely instrumental in kind of helping the evolution along of the professional development certification, which if you're not aware, that is this certification that Georgia Downtown Association does and administers, and they have now taken a step forward to work with Carl Vincent Institute, and they will be literally, it's going to be like professional development certification 2.0, and it's going to a whole new level and is really going to have a new chapter to it. And honestly, I have to credit Ellen with so much of that because she was really a driving force in helping us come together as partners and organizations and individuals to figure out what that looks like, how that will best serve y'all in your positions, and how we can, keep the integrity of what existed and really, even take it up a notch, because we didn't want to diminish all the hard work that people had put into it over the years. And so I'm excited to see that evolution. And that was one of our biggest concerns is, oh gosh, we don't want to take Ellen away from this. But I think, the nice thing is that she'll still be involved in that process, just from the other side now. So we're not letting her walk away from that. And she will, for all of you who have thought we need more than one Elizabeth, which I think we've all thought that at many, many times, is Ellen will be taking over a lot of that Main Street compliance stuff. And so what that means is helping with everything, setting up from annual assessments to monthly reporting, to again help. I think she has a huge heart for mentoring, helping work with GDA, and I would love to see us help y'all build and support that mentorship program, because I think a lot of our experienced managers will tell you that's where some of the best learning happens. And so I think the thing is, we've talked about this over the past year or so, and we mentioned this at the downtown conference, but our kind of charge as an office is to be able to take things to a different level. And so to not just serve Main Street communities, but to serve a broader network, right? To serve all of Georgia's downtowns. And one of the things that we have not struggled with, but always kind of tried to balance in our mind is, how do we do that without compromising what we have already set up, right? We want to make sure that the communities that are designated as Main Street communities, our classics, our affiliates, our gems, the people who are in the startup process, that we're not taking anything away from you guys, right? That by serving the broader network, we're able to bring on new kind of technical services and new trainings, but again, make sure that we're still providing our committed, fully accredited programs with the support and resources they need. And that's where this position comes in. We really want to make sure that we're living up to that previous commitment level, and even, providing you with a little bit more support when you guys need it. And Ellen will also be helping us coordinate training. Up to this point, each member of our team has taken on different components of that over the past couple of years. And I would say we've made it work, guys. And, we've all, just kind of held different elements of that, but we have realized that in order to, again, take that to another level, we need to really unify some of that under one person. So that way we're a little more strategic about what we're doing. And so that is some of the stuff that Ellen will be doing for us. Excited to have her coming on board. Again, she'll start March 1st. And we'll be going from there. So, we had, again, some great candidates, great candidate pool. Thank you to everybody who applied. I feel very fortunate that we have such an incredible network, of people who just love what they do. So it was definitely not an easy decision, but I am so excited to have Ellen be part of the team. So yay. And once she's officially on board and we've got all her official contact information for you guys, we'll make sure to shoot that out. And I will say too that there will be a transition, so it's not going to be one of those things that, hey, we're just dumping everything on her and you're not going to deal with Elizabeth or the rest of us. Again, we're looking at this as a transition process. So just I appreciate y'all's patience. Again, this is a new position for us. So as we kind of move through and figure out who's going to kind of take on what roles and how that will evolve. Again, I just appreciate y'all's flexibility, patience, understanding as we go through that. So any questions? I'm going to pull up the chat real quick to see. Lots of congratulations. And so, Ellen, does that mean, I don't know if y'all figured this out yet, but does that mean April is going to be the new president for GDA?
If she wants to volunteer as tribute, I'm gonna go visit April tomorrow and kind of pass the torch and kind of give her all of my GDA stuff. So you are definitely in amazing hands, because April she's amazing. She's so smart and wonderful and has done really great things in Thomasville. And she's been on the board a while too. So everything that you've seen as far as marketing and website stuff, all is out of April's little group, and she's headed that up for a long time. So she's going to be amazing with it. And I don't have any hesitations in passing that torch to April, because she's so great.
I don't either. Yeah. I know April's probably like, oh my gosh, but
she has nothing going on in Thomasville, so she's got it. She's got plenty of time.
I accept the passing of the torch. No, but as you said, Jessica, Ellen has just been such a force of the direction that we're being able to head into with the GDA program. And I truly do not believe we would be where we are without her leadership. And I'm glad that she'll be able to continue those efforts through the DCA level.
Yeah, me too. Absolutely. Good stuff, guys. All right, let's see what else we got going on. My brain is, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, my brain's a little bit all over today. We are sold out for Mobilize Main Street. We do have our 5 Levels of Leadership Summit coming up in June. If y'all haven't registered and are interested in doing that, we're going to be in Thomasville. April's hosting us. They have a brand new Marriott in the downtown district. It's really nice because it's easy to walk to everything. We've got some really cool stuff planned. I'm excited about it. It'll be a little bit different than what we've done before. Same good stuff, but we're adding a few little extra things this time too. So I'm really excited about that. We have also worked to be able to offer it to you guys at a lower rate than what we would normally be able to, working with sponsors and stuff like that, to be able to secure you guys an affordable price point. I know that we had some conversations in the past of like, well, can we make it more affordable if I bring my own materials? And like, I just felt y'all when you were saying that, and I hated to be like, I want everybody to step into it and have the same experience. I want everybody to be able to walk in and have the same materials and be able to be working from a fresh slate. So, I heard that and was like, okay, let's see what we can do to help, make this affordable. And, so I feel like we've been able to do that. Hold on, I see questions popping up. If you've been through it before, Valinda, I think you came to the one in person in LaGrange, right? I was going to say it'll be very similar to that. The only real difference is like at the very end, like when we're talking about the pinnacle level, we're just going to have we're inviting a couple of managers to come speak, and then we're actually going to have some folks from the city of Thomasville join us as well. So, but the rest of it will be pretty much the same. But yes, Elizabeth.
Sorry, I'm like completely interrupting you, but I just have to.
No, you're fine.
I hope you are healing quickly. And I know that all of our hearts and thoughts have been with you the last couple weeks. So I just want to send hugs and love your way, and just know that we're all thinking about you and sending you all the healing thoughts.
Thank you. And for the ones that don't know, I had a wake-up call. This is advice to all of you who we all burn the candle at every end possible. On the morning of January 27th, I pretty much thought, and it was definitely agreed with the doctor, that I had a heart attack. It actually happened at home, and I documented the time, and it was every symptom that they tell you, your heart hurts beyond words. I went into a cold sweat, and it went into my left arm, and I didn't wake my husband up. I didn't call 911. I actually got up about 30 minutes to an hour later, got ready for work, and then worked till 7:30 that night. And then I went ahead and went to the doctor, and they did an echo, and yes, you had a heart attack. You've got some heart damage, and you need to see a cardiologist immediately, which was like within 10 minutes. And so I saw him, and he was like, yeah, it's not good. You need to, we're going to admit you to the hospital. Somebody's going to be calling within a day or two. So I went in last Monday. So that was the 7th. Back it up for a minute. After I had that echo, I worked that night into the morning till like 4 o'clock because we had our chocolate walk the next day. And so then I came downtown and I worked from like 9 to 6:30. Luckily, I didn't fall out someplace. It's amazing that I'm actually still sitting here. But I went into the hospital. I kept waiting on a bed at Piedmont, Atlanta, because they're on diversion, because the doctor tried to do stents. And that's what we thought when we were going into the hospital, that we were just going to go in for overnight, do a heart cath and have some stents and go home. And he was like, nope, that's not possible. You're going to have double bypass. And so I'm freaking out. We're sitting in the room waiting on a bed all week long. I'm getting more antsy as the days go by. Finally, they called in a cardiologist that actually procedures that are complex like mine, because I had a 99% blockage. I don't know what the name of the artery is, but the Widowmaker. And then there was one that runs right, intersects right off from that. That was 90% blocked. They said it was amazing. I had any blood flow at all. And so he came in and he talked to me. He goes, yes, I do believe I can put stents in and you will be fine. And so we did that last Friday morning. I went home on Saturday afternoon. I have been home all week resting, but working, laptop and everything. And I'm planning on going back tomorrow, at least starting off for half a day. If not, try to do the full day. It depends on how I feel. But this is a wake-up call to all of you. Y'all, there's no heart issues in my family. I mean, I am diabetic, and that is an issue in itself. But listen to your body. I know this is Heart Healthy Month, which is perfect for me. But we all, you work so hard. We work so extremely hard. We take care of our family. We take care of our friends. We take care of work. We probably put more time into work than we do our personal life. And it's just, we need to slow down and we need to take care of ourselves. And if something doesn't feel quite right, you all know your bodies. If something doesn't feel right, you need to go check it out. Because again, I've been told by doctors and nurses, I technically should not be here. I mean, I really shouldn't. They said they've never seen anybody live through a heart attack like that with the heart damage that I have, with the blockage that I have. So it's amazing. So God answers prayers. That's all I can say, because I had a tribe of people praying for me. So I'm just happy to be sitting here with all of you. You don't even understand how excited I am to see your faces. And yeah. So yeah. Thank you, Elizabeth.
Yeah, we are. Yeah, every time I hear your story, Belinda, it gives me chills. And I think you hit on something very important. We focus so much on taking care of everybody else that we're not always focusing enough on self-care. And that's really, really important. And I'm so grateful that you're here with us today. Yeah, no words, but yeah. And guys, just a reminder that what we do is important and it's valued, but y'all taking care of yourselves first. It's kind of like that airplane, got to put the mask on yourself before you can put on somebody else. And so, yeah, we tend to focus on everybody else, but please, it, and that goes for everything from monthly reporting to other things that are due for us. If you ever are in a situation where you're like, I need to hit pause for a second, or I just need an extra couple of days, or, stuff is just overwhelming, please just let us know, because again, we are here to support y'all in that process. And, we do have, deadlines and requirements and stuff like that, but all of it is flexible within reason. You know what I mean? And y'all's health, first and foremost, is the most important. Hands down, period, full stop. I mean, everything else can come second to that. So thank you, Valinda, for sharing your story with us. Sorry to put you on the spot there. But
I couldn't control myself. I was just like, I need to hug you.
But yeah, we are so happy that you're on the road to recovery, and we appreciate your transparency with us and sharing that story, because I think it is an important one for all of us to hear.
Especially, I don't want to leave you guys out, but women, girls,
Mm-hmm.
It is the number one silent killer. I mean, you just don't think about it. I mean, your heart flutters for a minute, or you think, oh gosh, I ate something and it went down the wrong way or something like that. Just don't take things for granted. I mean, again, it's huge. It's huge. So,
Absolutely.
but thank you, Elizabeth.
I'm like, where were we?
Sorry.
So, no, it's fine. So yeah, 5 levels. We'd love to see y'all. If you've done it before, again, I think there's always value in it, but I would say there's probably, if you've done it before and you're interested in doing something else, I can work with you individually. I just did a John Maxwell training, just a week or 2 ago on, culture shaping communication. And yeah, again, they're always constantly coming out with some new stuff. I'm going to try and see what I can do to bring that to y'all as well. Cause again, just, the way that they look at stuff, they have this, saying of, what is it? Culture each strategy for breakfast, meaning that we can have the best laid plans and intentions, but our culture is always going to win out, right? So our organization's culture, our city's culture, our internal, culture of how we operate as a board, that is always going to take precedence over whatever our plans are. So until we can shift our culture and make sure that that's aligned positively, then our work plan and strategic planning is always going to take a back seat. And so I think again, if y'all are looking for some other things, please reach out. I can help kind of connect you. And Elizabeth, have y'all settled on a date for the book club?
Yes, we are meeting tomorrow. Thank you for asking me. Or not. Yes, tomorrow. I was like, what day is today? I had to do some quick thinking right there. So I sent out an email with the Zoom link. So if you are wanting to join and you did not receive that, just shoot me an email. We're meeting tomorrow at 10 a.m. I know for those of you that have read it, it's pretty hefty stuff. There's a lot of content. So I think we might end up, depending on how tomorrow goes, we might end up breaking it up into 2 sessions. And so therefore, like if somebody isn't able to make tomorrow, maybe they can join the second session, just because it's such a good book and so much good information. And I think there's going to be a lot of great conversation. So I just want to make sure that if we're running into the time wall, that we can still be open to having another session. So tomorrow at 10, let me know if you need the Zoom link. I will send it to you, and I'm looking forward to seeing everybody there. And I'm also going to send out some precursor questions, just so that y'all can kind of be marinating over them. Luckily, Brene Brown has kind of like just a little discussion thing available too. So I think that'll help us kind of get the juices flowing and get some really good discussion tomorrow.
Awesome. Thank you, Elizabeth. That was good timing.
Sorry, look who's here. Ebony!
Hey, Ebony.
Sorry, we haven't seen each other in years. I was really excited.
If y'all don't know Ebony Simpson, she's based down on the coast out of Savannah, and she works in our planning with our planning team in the planning department. And if for any of you guys who are Plan First communities, Ebony typically heads that up and works with you guys. So super excited to see Ebony's masked, but I'm sure smiling face behind that mask, because I know her.
Yes, 100%. And I'm going to have to jump off here soon. I have another meeting about rural zone, but it's so good to see everybody. If you need me, let me know. Email me if you need the Zoom link and the book club details. I'll see you guys soon.
All right, thank you. And so I also teased that we have a project that, you know, we've been waiting to kind of talk to you guys about. And honestly, I can't remember if we've talked about this or not, but I am excited to share that we are coming up on the final stages of redoing the Designing Downtown booklet. So for some of our managers who have been with us many, many years, you may remember that our office issued a publication years ago called Designing Downtown. And it really focused on those design elements in your downtown district, good practices, suggestions. Tara, you said you used it a lot when you were a manager to kind of help guide you through what I should be doing and that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, it was super helpful, especially when you were trying to explain appropriate materials and design of downtown buildings to someone that may not be as familiar with historic preservation. So it was very visual, had lots of great graphics in it. It had become a little dated, but what was so funny is I told Carmine this later, there were some helpful hints in there, important guidelines you should follow. And as we were extending our local historic district in Dublin, we actually used those as our design guidelines, sort of pulled them right out of there. Like, that's how good the content was. It's really helpful. So I'm excited about having this newer version of it, having it updated. I think it'll be a really great tool when you're out there explaining to people exactly why we want to see these sorts of materials used in these buildings and why it's important to maintain that level of authenticity for this architecture. So really, really good stuff.
Yeah. And one of the, main reasons we wanted to be able to update this and bring this to you guys is obviously because we did lose the design studio, right? So we had an incredible resource that unfortunately we weren't able to sustain. And so before Carmine left, we started working on this project. Honestly, guys, it's been about 1.5 years in the making, and that's because of how many partners have come in and helped support us through the process. So it's not just the original booklet that it was, it's been updated, expanded, and we've also brought in preservation elements to it. So besides working with Carmine, both when he was here and after, since he's left, working with Randy Wilson, who did the designing boot camp with us last summer, and also working with our partners in the historic preservation office. So again, we have had a lot of hands in this, and it has again grown to be like such a much more comprehensive, holistic document. And again, we wanted to do that for you guys because we know how important that preservation and design component is, but we also know that we didn't have the resource that we had previously. And so we felt it was really important to be able to develop and deliver you guys something that you could have, like Tara said, you can bring to whether it's your HPC or to your board meeting when you're having discussions about facade grants and, kind of like what is the good best practice and what should we be considering and what should we be thinking about. I know, because of me coming into it, that not all of us have preservation backgrounds when you're coming into Main Street. And so a lot of this we're learning, right? And so we wanted to be able to provide you guys with a resource that will, help communicate that information, but also put it into layman's terms, right? And so I've got Elizabeth and Carmine and Randy who speak, talk the talk, walk the walk. We've got our preservation office that, again, they talk the talk, walk the walk. And then I was reading it and going through and saying, I'm sorry, what's this? What does this mean? What's this? And so always trying to make sure that we're bringing it back down, that we're giving context to everything, that we're explaining stuff and making it palatable to those of us without a preservation background. I just thought that was so important for us to do. And our hope is that this will be out in June of this year. So once we have copies available, we'll make sure everybody will get a copy, and we'll also have digital versions available. And then if y'all would like to purchase more, we always try and offer that at an affordable at cost rate. It's just a great resource for you guys. So yeah, it's, I feel like it's been a long time in the making, and it really has, but I hope you guys will think it's as cool as we do once it's all said and done. And I wanted to quickly see if somebody was on. But I wanted to say welcome to Shay from Douglasville. Shay is one of our new managers. Shay, how long have you been with us now? It's only been like...
It's been about 8 weeks. Thank you for that warm welcome.
It's funny how time flies. I was like, it's maybe been a month, but yeah, about 2 months.
Yes, and I'm looking forward to next week connecting with you guys.
Yes, absolutely. She'll be going through her first annual assessment process. So everybody who gets nervous, just remember that Shay's been here for, 8 weeks, and she's doing annual assessment stuff with us. So, all right. Let me see what else. Yes, definitely. Welcome to the downtown family. I think that's all the kind of stuff that I had from the office. Tara, am I missing something?
I don't think so. I think you covered it all.
Okay. Yeah. So this is the moment where I like to kind of ask people to share successes or challenges, right? I am constantly reminded this by our annual assessment presentations, but we are not always great about tooting our own horn, right? Because I think some of it is just society. We feel like we shouldn't be bragging on ourselves, that we should just be out there and letting other people give us praise instead of, calling out the good stuff that's happening in our community. But I would love to see someone come forward and tell me something awesome that's happened to them, whether it's personal or professional. Yes, Valinda.
I'll go back to what I mentioned before with the chocolate walk.
Mm-hmm.
This was our first, real event since pandemic, as far as putting people in the shops.
Mm-hmm.
We did a little cocktail cruise, but it was really more going to the restaurants, but this is more into the retail shops this time. We sold 350 tickets, probably could have sold at least 100 more. But what we did is a little change this time from the previous one from 2020, is each one of the chocolates had to be handmade. We did not allow prepackaged, purchased, little whatevers. People can go buy that at any time. We really wanted to raise the bar. And tickets were $20. And after expenses, which were very small, I got the board to agree to take the proceeds from the ticket sales and split them up evenly amongst all the businesses to offset the cost of their chocolates. Because if we're going to ask them to provide 300 pieces of something and then days prior say, hey, do you want to sell another, let me back that up. We sold 325 tickets. I think I said 350. I asked if they would allow us to sell 25 tickets at the door. And so everyone said that's fine. And so we really felt strongly about recouping their money. Again, we kept a little bit for the expenses. We had such an amazing turnout. It did help that it was a beautiful day after several days of rain. And people were so excited about being out. It was a 6-hour event. We surveyed the businesses afterwards. Hey, do you feel like it was too long? Everyone's like, it was just right. We got, hey, let's do this again. We want to do an adult trick or treat in the fall. I did get really cute little trick or treat bags and asked everybody to come in costume, and they can go trick or treating from shop to shop. We had 18 retail businesses, and then we had 8 restaurants that offered specialty chocolate drinks. Those were not part of the ticket price. They decided their price and the size and all that kind of stuff. But the overwhelming response from the survey from the businesses was, It was so nice to have people in the shops again like this. I know a lot of times we have open houses and things like that. And some of our businesses are, I say off, they consider themselves off the beaten path. They're really not. They're a parking lot away, but they're not door to door like someone else. And they feel like unless it's a ticketed event, then they don't get visited as much. And so we're going to work on making sure that we give the money back to them, and we do some ticketed things because it does assure that people go from place to place. But it was a huge success, and it made us feel like a little sense of normalcy was coming back. And we had so many people from out of town. That was the best part. A lot of people weren't from Canton. I mean, they were traveling in an hour and a half, 2 hours away. And that was huge. So it's like, put that stuff out there as far as boosting. And I definitely tell you to boost, and I'm sure you already do this, boost at least a 2-hour drive. You're going to catch some folks, especially if they're ready to get out and be normal again. But I just had to do that because our businesses were excited, and we just saw a huge day downtown. So it was good. I was proud.
Yay, that is awesome, especially with everything that's been happening the past couple of years. It's nice to have something that feels like a return to normal, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
And I see that Steve Harper, welcome. He said 2 weeks on the job in Hiawassee. If any of y'all remember Denise McKay, she was our Hampton girl back in the day. She's up in Hiawassee, and Steve's working with her, right? And she's an incredible resource to learn from. So yeah, she is. You're in great hands. So thank you. And I think I saw Jamie Wilson from Hawkinsville, and I think Jamie's relatively newish too, right?
Yeah, it's a 6 month on the job working in Hawkinsville. So
okay, all right, that's still considered new. Yes.
Well, and I did a report the other day for our rules on, and I didn't realize how many properties we sold last year in the downtown area, but we sold like 15 properties, and 8 are being redeveloped and rehabbed. So I'm really excited about that, and we have more that are waiting on tax credit approval. So we are just up and rolling, and I'm so excited.
That is huge.
Yeah.
Huge. That is awesome, Jamie. Congratulations. That's definitely a brag-worthy moment right there. That's incredible. And if Kayla is on the call from Stone Mountain, I saw her on earlier, but they are a rural zone designated community, and they wanted to reach out to somebody else and see how they were doing it. So I'm going to connect her with you, Jamie, because I think that's incredible. Super exciting.
Yeah, I mean, I'm still learning a lot about the rules zone. I haven't got all the grasp all of it yet, but I did do my first report, so I can help her with that.
Jessica, I'm on. So Jamie, yeah, what I'll do is after we're done with the phone call, I'll give you a call and we can talk about it. So I look forward to working with you.
Yeah.
Yay, love it. Love connecting people. And when Valinda was speaking and Jamie was speaking, it made me think of just a reminder that if you haven't done so already, we've sent out our annual manager's salary and information survey, and that's something we have you guys complete annually. The National Main Street Center requires us to do an annual survey to collect data points and to make sure that we have the most up-to-date current information from you guys programmatic wise. And typically we do a little something to say thank you for doing it. And it's usually like a form of a discount or something like that. Last year we gave we paid half of the registration fees for the virtual National Main Street Conference. And this year we're doing something a little bit different. So to try and encourage you guys to write and really give us some feedback, what we're doing is that once all of them have been submitted and turned in, each member of our team will get to go through them and pick the person or the community that they thought gave the most thought-provoking feedback. And I will work with those 4 communities to do a short little video for y'all on whatever you want to talk about or highlight. So maybe it's, hey, you know, this is what Main Street is, and you want to use that for your board. Maybe it's about highlighting your impact and you want to use that for your mayor and council. Maybe it's just a little fun promo or informational thing that you want to throw on social media. But we decided to kind of change it up a little bit. And so it's not so much this year about getting it in as fast as you can. It's, you know, please, you know, put as much energy and thought into it as possible, because we do go through and read these and we take y'all's feedback very seriously, and that helps shape the future of our program. So if you haven't done that, I think the deadline is next week, maybe the end of next week, to submit that stuff. And if it's lost in your inbox, just shoot me or Tess an email, and we'll get y'all a link to it so you can get things squared away. And we have all of our programs submit that, whether you're startup, affiliate, classic, or gems. Again, it's just a good way for us to make sure that we're checking in with everybody. And then the other thing that I do is that in March, we will be, I say we as in the collective we, but it's actually me. I'll be hosting our annual State of the Program webinar. And so what I do is I take that information, we look at data trends and data points. And then what I do is put together a presentation that highlights that information for you guys. And so we can see how the programs have evolved over the years, the impact of what that means for y'all's bottom lines. It's been really nice for us to track changes in salaries and budgets and those sort of things, and be able to give you guys that accurate, up-to-date information. So that's, again, we don't call out anybody individually in that. Everything you give us is confidential, and we use the data only for statistical purposes. But again, it helps us get kind of that overall feel for what's happening downtown, in the downtowns across the state. Let me see. I saw a question. Oh, Terry, you go.
Yeah, we have a question in the chat about reporting real estate sales in your district. So a couple of things. I do understand, you know, a lot of our tax assessors' websites are not updated in a timely manner, especially monthly. A couple of recommendations, even though the tax assessor's office doesn't update the Q Public websites or whatever they may use, they do receive those closings and formulate their reports. I can't see the notes, Steve. You have to yell it at me. Sorry.
They do it annually up here, and
right.
Here we
So
are in February, and they still haven't done their 2021 sales reporting.
So even though they don't post that on their website, but annually they do collect that, right? They're receiving the sales. And so what I would suggest, and something I've done before, is working with that office, finding one person in that office, explaining to them the information that you need, and then asking them to send you the spreadsheet of monthly sales that they receive each month. You then can go through and find the parcels that pertain to the district that you're looking for. You know, that was something that it's, you know, from personal experience, it took me about 3 conversations and a couple of orders of cookies and a Starbucks to convince them that please do this for me. But they did finally do that. And we were able to get that information in a much more timely manner. The second part of that is, you know, and Hiawassee is a little different with the layout, but working to sort of build those relationships so you kind of have a thumb on what's going on and always keeping up with it. Again, Hiawassee is a little different in that there's a lot of different dynamics there, and the layout may be hard and, you know, all that kind of stuff. So, but you know, so if you are in a smaller district and can certainly want to build those relationships, you'd be surprised on what you can find out from people just by asking. And so anyways, that's my advice to you on that. I hope that's helpful.
And I would say,
thank you, Tara.
And I would say, to add on to that too, is that we do have some communities like y'all, Steve, where you're like, I really only have access to it like after the fact, and it's usually all at the same time. We get that. I know I can think of Milledgeville off the top of my head. Carly and Dina, when she was there, what she would do is at the end of the year, once that information was made available, Dina would always send it over to us and just kind of make note of like when the sales took place and the amount and stuff like that. And what we would do is go and plug it into her reports and on the back end, and then give them an updated version of their total economic impact for 2021. So, the thing is, we get that not everybody may have access to that every month, and that's okay. But when you have something, obviously you probably want to track that, just reach out to us and we can help get that plugged in for you guys, and then get you an updated, annual economic impact report with those numbers included.
Thank you. Thank you all. I will definitely go into that meeting today armed with coffee and some sort of donut or Danish or something.
Yes. It works wonders. Patrick, I see you got your hand up.
One thing that I didn't realize in Spalding County's Q Public until after being here for about 3 years, that there's a tab on the Q Public site that goes for sales search and sales list. And when I clicked on sales list, at least in Spalding County, they won't for some reason update it on the individual page or the individual property page that the property sold, but they'll put it in the sales list. And so I'm not sure if you can look under sales list and see that if you click sales list on your Q Public, it has 2020, 2021, 2022. And then each month on there. Now, at least for mine, they haven't updated January and February, but they do have December 2021 updated. So I'm not sure if that helps.
Yeah, no, I actually did. I appreciate that. I did check that, and that's how I know that we're here in February and they haven't done anything in all of 2021.
That's the tough part about those websites, right? They are only as good as the updates they receive. I will give a shout out. If you ever want to show your tax assessor a website that is kept up to date in a timely manner, Monica Renfro down in Cordele, her tax assessor's website is on point. And let me tell you something. If your tax commissioner or assessor tells you you can't do that, I am here to tell you it can be done, because Cordele, Georgia is they can pull any report they need. And so it's really cool. So anyways, just a shout out to Cordele for that.
One of my best friends works for the county, works for Miami-Dade County down in Miami, which is substantially larger than Hiawassee. And they do theirs, they have a 3-week turnaround.
Yeah.
And they have only slightly more transactions on a monthly basis than we do. And so if they can do it with a 3-week turnaround, I'm pretty sure we can figure out a way to do it up here.
Agreed.
Patrick, did you have anything else you wanted to add?
One more thing I wanted to mention. I've developed a pretty good relationship with our tax assessor. They want to get our information as much as I want to give it to them, especially if you live in a community like I do, where we have a tax allocation district. I kind of have a vested interest in making sure that the downtown properties are accurately represented, so we can maximize our tax allocation district revenue on there. And so Robbie Williams is the assessor. He and I talk often, and they're actually looking at doing redevelopment of our downtown. So I'm working with him kind of hand in hand to help him. But they may be very interested in talking with you, because you probably have a better understanding of what properties are valued in the downtown, because you have a close relationship with the businesses and some of the sales than they may do.
Yeah. Hey, Christian, I'm going to call you out for a second. Y'all are, I would say what I would consider, like, for us in the downtown world, like a medium-sized community. You're not super small, you're not too large, but your district is big. You all are a GEMS designated program. Talk to us, and I know that you've been doing this a while, so talk to us a little bit just kind of about like how important those relationships are, and how, having those feet on the ground to go out and have those conversations helps you as far as tracking data, whether it's jobs or sales or rehabs or whatever.
Yeah, so I'll answer Steve's question, we have an awesome tax assessor, and the spreadsheets are updated monthly, but the minute he gets a cell in, it's online. I just looked at our February list, and it's already populated with up to date with everything that's been added thus far. So I mean, he's phenomenal at that. But a lot of the things that you get or that are happening in your downtown, some of the work may not be permitted depending on what your community is. So it is important to reach out to your business owners and know what they're doing. And we try to stay in constant communication with our business owners, whether we see a new sign going up or we see some work being done inside. Unless you're extending your roof line or something that needs to go through our HPC or anything like that, then there's a good chance that it's not going to be permitted in our community. So you have to have that close relationship with your downtown business owners. And we try to take a walk at least once a week and just talk to our business owners. And it's really difficult right now because this is grant season for probably everybody. But it's important to sit down and talk with your business owners and see what they're doing, see what they're needing. At our DDA meeting this past month, we decided that we're going to start hosting at least twice a year meet and greet with our downtown business owners, and just make it casual after hours, and have them get together and say what they want from the city, what they want from our community, what they're needing, what we can provide them with. We have some new folks that just bought our bed and breakfast downtown, and we're going to be hosting it there. So that's going to be a cool thing. I do want to give a praise in our community. The staff at DCA probably remember from our evaluation last year that we said one of our biggest issues was getting buy-in from sometimes our elected officials. We tried to pass an entertainment district 18 months ago, and it had the support of a local visioning group. We had a lot of folks signed a petition. We had several hundred signatures on a petition. The DDA recommended it, the Planning Commission recommended it, the Alcoholic Beverage Control Board recommended it, and it didn't pass the City Commission on the second reading. And that was really difficult for us. But I'm pleased to report that it actually passed last month. And not only that, but we actually passed it with a complete elimination of the food alcohol ratio in the downtown. So since that time, we've had 3 businesses that have reached out to us. I have a meeting with one of them today. I just talked to the Georgia Cities Foundation this morning for some potential revolving loan funding. And it's just going to be dynamic. People are excited about it. So I guess the thing is, if something happens that you're not anticipating or upsets you, there's always a chance to bring that back around. And 18 months later, not only did we bring that around, but we did it with an even better ordinance than we had the first time. So we're excited about that. So, keep trying, keep those things in the pipeline.
I love that, Christian. And I think you hit on something really important, which is that it's not always about right now, it's about the long game, right? And I think that sometimes we can get disheartened when something doesn't happen, or where we ask and we make a request and we're shut down. But I mean, I'll tell you, even from personal experience, it took us 5-6 years locally in Carrollton to get to the point where we could do events, to having alcohol events, to having a walking open container district, and the first time I asked, I basically was like laughed and basically walked to the door out of the office like, yeah, don't come back with that kind of request again, but again, having that kind of having that long range vision in mind, and knowing that it takes the right entities, right? The right timing, the right people, the right environment, all those things coming together. So just because you hear no the first time doesn't mean it'll always be no. It just may be no for right now. And yeah, I think that's just an important reminder for all of us.
And it's personal, but my third son's due in 8 weeks, so we're excited about that.
Yay!
Congratulations!
Yay! 3 boys! Oh my goodness! Your wife is gonna have her hands full. That's awesome, though. All right, guys, we got just a couple minutes left. How about one more, whether it's a personal or professional, Woohoo.
Erica just got approved for a mural grant. So we are going to receive $3,500 for a mural in our downtown. We're still in the very beginning stages. We don't even know where it's going to go yet, but we've walked around town with an artist. So we're rocking and rolling.
That's so awesome. Where's the grant coming from?
Go Georgia Arts.
Awesome.
We're also in the process of restoring some of our iconic downtown murals. So your classic Coke murals, RC Cola murals. We're partnering with Color the World Bright, UGA, the Lamar Dodd School of Art. And so they're looking to do all 3 of those murals for $11,200, which is a steal if you think about it. So we're looking to do that in preparation for our inaugural Thomaston Art and Soul Festival, which will be our spring art festival that we're doing.
Awesome, guys. Congratulations to both of y'all. That's super exciting. Woohoo. I will say that we have definitely, Tara and Tess, I'm sure you can agree with me, but like we've seen the arts and really pick up in downtown and having that connection of creating that sense of place, you know. I feel that maybe 10 years ago, it was just a little bit different because I feel like sometimes people thought that art and murals kind of conflicted with the idea of preservation. And I think we're starting to see kind of how those two can merge together in an ideal environment and create that, that unique sense of place. And I love that.
Jessica, I have one question. One of the big things my board wants to do is like some recruitment packages and things like that. And I used to use the design center a lot. And I'm wondering if anybody has any other good resources that would do what Carmine used to do. We wrote down like Carl Vincent Institute, you know, I figured I could call Danny, but I didn't know if anybody had any suggestions for someone who would do that for the minimal cost like we used to get. Cause I know I can get an engineer, but that's a little not in the budget. So I thought this would be a good way to ask.
If you're
Hey, Carly, I spoke with Carmine yesterday and he's actually doing work for us. So not as inexpensive as it was when it was with the downtown design studio, but he, you know, kind of put together a deal for me. And so we kind of have him on retainer. So he's still obviously in that world and has always done a great job for us.
We're using him too. Yeah, he came December 14th. So we're using
Can y'all
him
put
too.
his contact information in the chat or something so we can?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I found a local student who's actually a student at UGA for their landscape design school. And I met with her this past weekend about a project we're trying to do. And for me, it's a way to get her involved in making some transformation in the community and to give her some firsthand experience. And she's looking to do it obviously for much cheaper than if it was going through a professional institution. So if you have someone from your community that you could potentially partner with and get that done for a cheaper cost, and again, give them that firsthand experience, I think that's an opportunity for you as well.
If you've been through the RSVP master plan process with UGA, you also did get a discount with Danny and them. So,
and if you also, again, if your push comes to shove, you need one last resource. Randy Wilson, who did our design boot camp last I almost said semester, last year, he also does that kind of stuff as well. So I think there's a couple resources out there. Taylor, did you have something else you want to add before we wrap up? You good? Okay. All right. Well, thank you guys. I appreciate y'all's time. The team will stick around for a few minutes if you guys have any additional questions that you want to throw our way. But other than that, thank y'all for being here with us, and we will see you next month. Bye, y'all.
Bye, everyone.